I'm gonna do a review of one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe, which is a Wolverine. You know, I've waited forever to get a figure. You know, I've been holding off for quite some time now. I really don't want to overpay for the Origins Wolverine, and as much as I would say I like the Last Stand, it just doesn't sit well for me. So when this figure was announced, I was happy, I was excited. But as you all know, there's a lot of controversies regarding this figure, whether it's good or not. So hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a better understanding, or if you're on the fence, so at least this helps you out in the decision making, whether you're gonna get it or not. You know, you're looking at the box. I really like the artwork that they put on the box. As you see, the first one, you know, the cover, I like how they use the movie poster. I'm really digging that artwork, and this is the side of the box. You know, he has some blood splatter from his samurai. This is the other side, basically just saying Wolverine MMS 220. You know, pretty cool variations on the design level. But overall, I like the theme. Yeah, they stayed true to the movie, and you know, normal format of MMS Hot Toys. The Wolverine, you know, with the credits in the back, and some pretty cool dynamic, you know, not dynamic, but you know, some pretty cool poses of the figure itself from the back. And like I'm saying, there's a lot of you know, confusion or controversy surrounding these figures, whether you know, the head sculpt looks different, or you know, am I gonna pick it up, am I not? So normally I don't do unboxing. In this case, I'm gonna try to be as thorough as possible. Like I said, I'm trying to help out those who's on the fence. You know, just trying to I guess make them realize whether it's worth their time and money. Because you know, let's face it, this is a $220 figure. You know, you just don't want to buy it just because. And as usual, there's an inlay inside the box. You know what? I like this artwork a lot. You know, I like this Japanese theme that this Wolverine figure has. You know, actually you can use this as a backdrop under Detolf or something. So I like that. And this is the clamshell. There's nothing in this box. There you go. I already opened this one, so after the review, I was looking for the tank top. Apparently, he's already wearing it. So as we speak, this guy has what, 4 layers of clothing inside. So, and then once you open it up, there's really nothing special. You can see all the hands and samurai. There's a manual here at the bottom. I would suggest read it. You know, because you don't want to pop up the collar of his shirt. And I was looking for the claws, and I was like, "Where's the claws?" But if you, it's behind the first box. You know, the cover, the shoebox style, kind of like with Captain America and Thor. You know, it's behind that. So if you're looking for it, it should be there. Don't worry. Don't call Sideshow or anything. And there we go. We're gonna jump off to the accessories. As usual, you have this Hot Toys generic stand. It's just the Wolverine there, like that, and some hands. You know, he has some cool 2 pair of hands. They're not fisted hands. The fisted hands comes with the figure. This is, I would say, more of his samurai stance. I would just you know, put a quick close up on this one because there's a lot of details on this hand. It's not like your generic hand. I don't know, maybe because I'm new to Wolverine figures. There's, you know, some hairs on it. You know, I really like the details that they put on the hand. It's not like one of those generic hands that you see on Bane or the Joker. You know, there's some veins on the hand, and you know, I really like the authentic feel. I would say that, you know, this is Wolverine's hands. Now we'll move on to his boots. This is his alternate costume or outfit, so to speak. I like the fact that they included this full set of outfit, you know, with boots and pants, because they could have easily made you use the same shoes that he has with his when he was in their dojo or their house. Yeah, nothing special about that pants, but although I would say all the outfit that's included in this figure is well tailored. So even if, for the most part, I'm gonna use this pants because I like that look for the Wolverine, but everything is so nicely done that you can use them for pretty much anything. If you want to bash something for your Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark, you could. And now you're looking at his samurais. There's some weathering on the samurai as well, so you can see there. I don't know if it's weathering or Sideshow gave me a crappy one. Hopefully not, but hopefully it's just weathering. The funny thing is you can barely see these details if you're looking at the actual sheath itself. You won't. With this macro lens, it's pretty amazing. It just doesn't focus that well, but for now I don't know what's going on. But yeah, there's a lot of details on this one. It's actually working. You can actually put the samurai inside, and this is the samurai itself, which I know I'm going to have some trouble focusing. Trying to focus it as much as I could here. The good thing about the samurai is it's made out of metal, and there's a lot of details on it. And the cool thing is whenever it gets hit by a light at a perfect area, it has this shining effect. I mean, you won't see it on this video because my lights are continuous, but there you go. I finally got it. I'm that focused. You see there's some Japanese characters on the samurai itself. I've heard a lot of from forums and everything that they're off-centered. Apparently they're right. Mine is not centered either, so it doesn't really bother me, but kind of odd. And handle, it's so detailed. Even the handguard, you can see there's some little markings in there, some tiny touch of details which Hot Toys are really good at. The tassels or whatever you call that at the end of the samurai. I really love this accessory right here. So at initial glance I thought there wasn't a lot of accessories with the Wolverine. I was like, I even wrote it on my blog at first when I was writing this one down. I was like, I wish it would have came with more accessories since it's $220. But laying it out now and taking a video, I was like, this is decent size accessories. I can actually make another set of Wolverine if I wanted to. All I needed is just to buy another body and maybe a head sculpt, or maybe just use his other accessories for another figure. Kit Bash, like I said earlier, another figure. And it won't be Wolverine without claws. And I'm still amazed with his claws. The amount of details on the hand. I've never had a Wolverine figure, like I said, so I'm still in awe. I did with the amount of details in this one. It's pretty sharp too. So if you have any kids at home, try to make them not play with this figure. They might cut themselves or something. But you can see the details on the hand. It's kind of different from his fisted hands. You can see some, I don't know, some texture on his skin that when the claws came out, kind of like a rippling effect. And it's made out of metal, so it has some nice touch on them. And this is finally, we got this from the Hot Toys, the Bone Claw. I've been waiting for this one. A lot of people are just bashing this. They're trying to buy it off on eBay, but finally we got a Bone Claw. Only complaint I have is right there, the tip. I wish it was a little bit more rounder, because in my opinion, the shape looks like the regular claw, while in the movies, I mean, it looks more straighter, or it's not more refined. I mean, you can see the organic look. I mean, the texture is amazing. It's a bone claw. We all know it's different, but I would say just the size or the shape, it still looks like a regular claw. So I would say that's the only downside that I can say about this claw. But look at that texture in his hand. You can see a little marking where the claw came out, so it kind of like the skin was kind of folded. Or it's amazing. It's just simply amazing how Hot Toys does these things. And we'll switch on to the next stop, which is there's a lot of rumblings about this head sculpt. I myself was kind of on the fence at first when I heard, well, not heard, but when I saw the pictures online. I was like, well, wait a second, there's some deal about his stash basically. Is it thicker than it's supposed to be? Yes. And there's supposed to be a little soul patch in there. You probably can't see it that much. By the way, I'm using a macro lens, so whatever you see in here, that's pretty much what you're gonna see when you have it in hand. And honestly, I mean, a lot of people made a big deal about it. Looking at it in hand, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not saying that, you know, the head sculpt is terrific and all that. I mean, it is. It's not bad. It is Hugh Jackman. You can clearly see it from this picture. Like I said, is it thicker than it's supposed to be? Yes, it is. You know, it could be a little subtle, just like in the movies, but it doesn't really kill the vibe for me. You know, I mean, to me, it's still Jackman. It's still a lot better than other Wolverines out there. So I decided to pick this up. My initial thought was like, if I didn't like it, I'm probably just gonna sell it. Probably gonna keep this one. It looks so good, you know, and like I said, there's so much potential in the amount of accessories that he has that I can pretty much make another figure just because of that. But going back to the head sculpt, you can do some modifications. I see it on forums where they make his mustache a little subtle, you know, with dabbing it with something, you know, making it skin tone. In my case, I mean, if you could do it, go ahead, you know, so be it. In my case, I'm kind of scared to mess around with my figure, but to me, it's fine. He looks okay like this. I mean, it's not great. I would give it a good 8.5 out of 10. Maybe if it's subtle, I'll give it a 9, maybe 9.5. But to me, it's great. You know, I mean, I got no complaints whatsoever. It's a lot better than people make it out to be. And so we'll move on to the actual figure itself. So normally what I do is you know, if you watched my videos before, I focus on the figure, then go from you know, from his shoes all the way to his head sculpt. Well, this guy's just wearing a suit, so there's, you know, you can't really appreciate the suit. It doesn't matter if I put a close up on the suit. It's a suit of the suit, you know. So what I'll do now is just you know, give you different looks from his overall clothing, because like I said, there's so many options on how to display this guy that, you know, you're gonna love it. You know, I had a good time playing around with different looks, and this is his overall look out of the box. You know, I didn't do anything, so he looks good doing this way. You know, I mean, this is the funeral look which he has if you watch the movies with his samurai. I don't know when he used the samurai. I think it's on the fight, but yeah, I mean, he looks good wearing this. Honestly, this is, I would say, the perfect look for him, but in my opinion, this is not Wolverine. This is not what I envision Wolverine for. Every time I think about him, it's kind of strange to me that Hot Toys picked this outfit for their Wolverine figure. But hey, now what I did on this one is I took off the coat, trench coat, so to speak. Now he's wearing a sports jacket with his, you know, nice suit. The suit is well tailored, and it's amazing. You know, like I said, it's all black, so it's pretty much generic. You can use it if you got, you know, some custom Raza Ghul or something like that. But it's really, really well made. You know, not like the ones you can buy from eBay. This fits the body perfectly. There you go. So with him holding, and this is a Wolverine without claws. You know, I guess with this outfit you can get away with it. You know, he's holding the samurai, and look at that. He looks sharp even without the sports jacket. This is his just nice dress shirt. You know, pretty amazing look. You know, it looks like he's going for an interview or something. Wolverine doesn't dress up too often, but when he does, you know, he's maybe applying for a job. But you know, I like this overall look. Like I said, it looks pretty sharp. And I didn't put any claws on it. You know, just relaxed hands, and you can still get away with it. You know, it's a nice suit, like I said. And we're gonna move on to, you know, I'm slowly stripping him down, as you notice. You know, sounds kind of weird, but this is the look that I probably would keep him in. Now, this is what I think about when this is what I envision Wolverine whenever you say Wolverine is this in this generation. when you talk to me about 10 years ago, I would say, you know, Wolverine in a yellow suit. But nowadays, you know, Hugh Jackman, this is his signature look. His wife beater, his big arms. The only thing is, I would say the body is okay. You know, Hugh Jackman was pretty big in the movie. I mean, he's ripped. He's not that big, but I know he's bigger than this. So I wish the shoulder was a little bit wider. That's my only, I guess, concern or, you know, issue with it. But it's okay with me. You know, the body could have been a little bit bigger. And from what I heard, this is the same body as they used on the Origins one. So, you know, we can't really complain that, you know, but for some reason the head looks kind of bigger right next to the body, or maybe it's just me, or maybe it's the hair. I'm not sure, but it is what it is. You know, now I'm gonna start off my usual head to toe, you know, on this one, because you know what, this is the cloth that I included. You know, so what I did was I took out his wife beater, so we can, you know, just focus on the body. For those who doesn't have a Wolverine yet, this is gonna be their first Wolverine, so at least they have a closer look on the. I believe this is a TTM-19 body. They call it the Wolverine body, so you know it's made specifically for him. You see, he has some weird veins in there, just like Jackman, you know. But like I said, I wish the shoulders were a bit broader. I guess that's what's gonna make this body perfect. Because as far as details, you can see the details. It's amazing. You know, Hugh Jackman was ripped. This body is ripped. You can see he has some hairs on his body. You know, it looks good. I mean, even without the shirt on, it looks great. You know, the veins on his arms. You know, Hugh Jackman on the movie has, you know, some really veiny arms. He was really, you know, ripped and jacked in that movie. When on the movie, Hugh Jackman wasn't a wrestler big. You know, he's more ripped than mass. But still, you know, like I said, because of the head. I think it's because of the head. The head's a little bit bigger for the body. I guess that's what makes the shoulder looks a little bit narrower as well. But you know what? Can't complain. Looks good to me anyway. So I'm gonna keep this figure, you know, until the next one comes out. Who knows how long it's gonna be? But so far, you know, as far as the details, it's there. Details are there. It looks good, and you know, you can decide for yourself whether you want to pick it up or not. And there you go. So like I said earlier, I'm pretty much gonna keep this figure in his tank top. There goes the Wolverine. Hopefully, if you watch the video, hopefully it makes your decision a lot better. I'm not saying you pick up this figure or not, but me personally, I love it. I'm gonna keep it. And if you like my video, please hit subscribe. It really helps me a lot. And you know, thank you for watching. And like I said, go ahead and pick it up if you ask me. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna sell out, but great figure. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. And till next time.